Hey, how's it going everybody? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we are looking at the Play Arts Kai DC variant Hawkman. One of the other figures I was super excited about this year. And you guys know how sometimes the Play Arts Kai figures are a little hit or miss. Sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're not. And I have to say this one is pretty awesome. It's pretty darn cool. We all thought it was probably going to be. It's big and shiny. What else could you ask for? And they definitely delivered. There are a few issues I'm going to point out here and there, but on the whole, this thing is quite an impressive piece of action figure. He stands to the top of his head about 10¼ inches tall, a little bit higher to the top of his little wingy ear thingies, and to the wings, or for the wings, they're more than 12 inches across. They're about 12 to there. About 17 inches from tip to tip. They are quite large. This is a 30-inch review backdrop that I made, and his wings cover up at least 2/3 of it. I don't know if that works out or not, but they're big, whatever. They're really, really big. You can see how big they are. They're awesome. But they're going to come off for the review for now because they're really big and they're going to get in the way. Okay, before we go into the figure, let's look at the accessories, get that out of the way. First thing he comes with is the display stage that all the Play Arts Kai figures come with from now on. As of a year ago-ish, they've all been coming with it, so not going to talk about that. He does come with a few accessories. You can see here he has his mace. I believe that's a mace, right? It's a mace, even though it's not spiky. And a Morning Star would be on a chain, so that's a mace. So he comes with that. It's got a nice kind of gunmetal look to it and silver handle, and then the gold hook part down here. It's got kind of like a dagger thing, same handle, but then the daggery end on it. And then he has a big double-bladed axe, which is pretty cool and decent size also. So, and it has a nicer handle too. It has the 3-pointed handle. Very cool. He has this here, which looks kind of like the axe, but not quite, and that's on there permanently. And so I'm guessing, you know, I should probably check, but I'm guessing it's meant to hold an accessory. I'm gonna probably have to check that out. It would make more sense to put it in like this, wouldn't it? It would, but then it's gonna be sticking up into his armpit. I'm gonna cut the video and I'm gonna check on that because I just realized that just now. Okay, so I checked and I was right, I just hadn't realized it. This spins, mine was stuck at first, it spins and comes out, so if you don't like it there, you can take it off. But what it's for is, we'll just leave it on, you can stash this weapon in here. So that's kind of cool, I guess. It's still a little bulky. Get in there, it's a little tricky too. There's a little tab you have to line it up. So it's still kind of, it's just really kind of big. But you can put that in there. So we're going to take that off actually, since we can. I just realized it. And the instructions mention that some parts are interchangeable, and it kind of points at the handles. But I don't think the handles are. I tried pulling on them and everything. Nothing moved. So I think it was just talking about putting it in his hands, which I guess is okay. I mean, that makes sense. It's just kind of odd that they mentioned it. So I was a little curious about that. So those are the weapons. And then as far as the hands go, you can see he has a fist on that hand right there. Another fist. That's what the fist looks like. Two different shades of gold. One's kind of a orangish, copperish color. And then the gold and then the green. Really nice emerald green. Nice metallic. So that's cool. We have two open hands. I'm going to set him down. Be careful with this guy because he has those ears sticking off the top of his helmet. So he has the style pose hands and then of course the gripping hands for either side. So that's going to be perfectly good for posing. This piece here, I was really hoping it was removable or at least posable. Mine is not. I don't know if other people have been able to spin that around, rotate that. It doesn't look like it would be able to. I really wish you could, because right now it only really makes sense when his hand is palm up. If you turn his hand like that, which is how it would be to hold something, the handle is going to be going in between these pitchfork things. Talons, but I don't know. I think that's poorly implemented, which is one of my gripes. It's a cool piece, but not being able to remove it or not being able to rotate it, it does detract from the usability of the figure. Okay, so that's it for accessories. Let's look at the actual figure itself. This backpack here, permanent, at least as far as I can tell. I'm sure it's glued on, but it does not want to come off. So that's going to be there. That's how you obviously can put the wings on. Standard Playarts Kai ratcheted ball hinge, swivels here, and of course where they peg in, and they're ratcheted. The wings peg in right here. This part is hinged. This part is technically on a ball hinge, so you can rotate it around and hinge. So that's nice. And then this is another one of the big ball hinges. So the wings are very well done. I'm really happy about that. They have that really nice orangish gold to gold shading with the silver lining in there. That silver looks really good because it's got a nice black thin line going around it. So the wings are really, really awesome. And I guess I can give you, when they're at their biggest size, they are about 10 inches from end to end. So I guess I was even off by my earlier estimation. So the wings are done really well. Head looks really good. We've got some of that silver going through there. All of the kind of panel lining going on, that looks good. He's got his teeth gritted. Looks pretty good overall. As far as articulation goes, double ball peg for the head, double ball peg for the neck. Neck seems a little bit long, but once you pose them, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal, so not going to harp on that too much. It is something I noticed, though. Pretty good range of motion for the neck and the head, though. Even with this collar piece, which is kind of a soft material, you shouldn't have too much trouble with it. We're going to do the arms separately, at least the shoulder, because it is a little bit different. Shoulder doesn't have the traditional butterfly hinge. It just has the ball hinge that pegs in, which gives him the rotation this way. So it's not really an effective butterfly joint, but it is there kind of, and it does look much better. Keeps the sculpt looking really good. Good range of motion otherwise, so that's nice. The chest is a soft material with a split there. It's not too noticeable. I didn't even see it right away, but that's good because it does allow for the arm to press against it without hurting the sculpt. So that's all right. Bicep swivel, standard elbow hinge. So it's another hinge, or a ratcheted ball hinge. But this time the elbow actually tucks in on itself, so it looks really good when it is bent. So that's pretty good. I like that. I like the sculpt on this also. Standard wrist joint, ratcheted ball hinge. Don't need to talk about that. This shoulder, it's made the same way as far as articulation goes, but this, even though it's a soft piece and it just connects down here, it's still pretty stiff and bulky, so that's going to get in the way a lot. This extra sculpt here is going to get in the way a little bit, so don't expect posing this shoulder in too much of a dynamic pose. Bicep swivel still works, and I like the way they sculpted that little sleeve on there, but this will get in the way. Rest of the arm is all the same. Paintwork on here, I like it. I like that silver and red and green combination, looks really nice. And I like the logo on here. It's recessed with a clear kind of cap over it, so that looks pretty cool. I don't care for what's going on right here and right here. This is all one solid sculpt, so I'm not sure how. It looks like, you know, it'd be something that was glued on crooked, but it wasn't. It was sculpted that way, so it's a little bit weird. I guess maybe they were trying to keep that abdominal sculpt going, but it doesn't work well, so that's a little strange. New torso articulation. It's actually ratcheted a little bit now. It only really has the two positions, but it gives you really good forward and back. Then we of course had the side to side. No rocking from side to side though, so that's new. I don't know if I like this new design or not, but it does work very well for the ab crunch itself. Then of course the lower abdominal section leans all the way back, all the way forward, side to side. So I guess that's probably good enough. Really good range of motion out of that, and of course we have the full rotation. He has really large floating trunks as opposed to some of the other figures, which we'll talk about Darkseid in a separate video, of course. But some of them have a really thin one. His are pretty large, so he can afford to pose more dynamically without exposing his innards. So that's pretty cool. So hips are standard. It's the ball peg going into the torso, and then the two ratcheted ball hinges on either side. And you can't really see that, but there, it's in there. Well, you can kind of see it, I guess. So it's a ball hinge right there. It ratchets from side to side, ratchets forward and back, and then we have a thigh swivel. So pretty good range of motion. Definitely as much as we would need. This side has a little bit less because of that hip piece. This side has a little bit more because it doesn't have that. And the paintwork on here is great. This black and gray part is kind of a flat paint job, or matte at least, and then the rest is metallic or glossy. So it looks really, really good. If you guys know anything about me, you know I'm a sucker for two things, which is translucent plastic is one, and the other thing is a flat paint job. I think it makes the figures look so much more realistic, and it looks really, really good. I wish they carried on that flatness up here. They didn't. I don't know if they wanted to or not, but they didn't. Either way, it looks really good down here. As for the knees, he has the newer style of knees, so they're much more compact, and they look pretty good with the kneecap on there. No complaints. Everything tucks in nicely. Can't tell there's a joint there at all when it's closed up. For the ankles, we have the standard ball hinge. You can see that in there. You can rotate it around a little bit, but this part really gets in the way. So the ankle is pretty much limited to just the hinge. We do get this swivel in here for the ankle rocker, which should be okay. Then we get a hinge here, which allows it to go up a little bit, but then it also allows it to go down, which is a little bit awkward because I don't think you're going to use that too much. But it does go up, so I guess that's okay. Not the best ankles, not the best foot design all around. I think that's a little weird looking, but it's not horrible. And the rest of the figure is pretty darn good. So, you know what? I'm not going to put the wings on for now. Just stick around. I'll have some photos on at the end of the video so you can see what he looks like. But just as a whole, it's a really well done figure. I love the way they did the shading in the skin tones, the flesh tones. The sculpt looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. It's not 100% perfect, but I wasn't really expecting it to be, and they impressed me. I'm really pleased with it, so I definitely think you guys should pick this up. So there it is. There's my recommendation for this figure. Like I said, stick around for the photos at the end, and make sure you like this video if you did. Clicking that thumbs up button helps me a whole lot. So please do that if you like the video. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.